What's up, everyone? Scott here from Chernobyl Studios. Hope you are doing well, or as they say down there in Australia, how you going, brother? So today we are going to look at the new bass from Solemn Tones called Mayo Bass. If you've ever wondered if mayonnaise was an instrument, we can answer that question right now. Let's have a listen to what this thing sounds like, shall we? So there we go. Mayonnaise is in fact an instrument. Video over. No, really. Just want to point out that this plugin was given to me by Max out there at Solemn Tones. Didn't pay me any money for the video, but he did give me the plugin, and I wanted to talk about this plugin for a little bit because we have, what do we got? We have Loki, Kraken, and Mayo Bass, right? So we basically have three bass, basically. Nice. Essentially, we have three bass instrument offerings, and I really enjoy what we've done here in Mayo Bass. There are a couple of new features here in particular that I like. Right up here, the first thing that I want to show you is this keyboard thing right here, the piano roll, essentially. I particularly enjoy how every tuning here is shown. This song was in standard E actually, so we didn't see the notes go any further down here, but we also see the key switches. Now, one thing that Solemn Tones has always done, I believe, I may be incorrect, but I believe what they've always done with their automation is instead of using non-latching automation, they use latching automation, which means that we see always what the automation always is because you have to draw it. So you need to draw the automation for the duration of which you want it to play for. So, I mean, if we look at this, I mean, we can go to the automations, or let's call it key switches. We can go to the key switches and we see all the notes, right? So we can see, okay, C sharp 0, that's our down pick and all these great things. Other libraries, you have to, you write it in once and then it's switched, and then you end up with what is sometimes really, you'll end up with just a bunch, I'll just write a bunch of things like this. You can really have key switches that look like this and you don't remember what they do because, I mean, you either need to have an expression map in Cubase, which is amazing, but if you're not using Cubase and you don't have expression maps, it's annoying. But at least in this instance, we can see here which articulation is playing because you have to write it in, and it's a latch system, so it needs to be written for as long as you want it to play that way. Now, the default articulation is alternate picking, which is fine, but you can go pretty in-depth with the type of articulations that you want to have. And I use a number of different articulations for this song, in particular the slide. I thought the slide sounded amazing, and you can hear it right here. Sounds very organic. And I mean, in the context of the track itself, you can absolutely hear the dynamic. Great, adds a lot of dynamics to the track. Really enjoyed it. We have, I think, the Kraken. I don't remember anymore. The Kraken came out years ago, if you can believe that. But we've got a lot of articulations that we're seeing other libraries use as well. Thumb slapping, sliding, scrapes, as well as the down picking and the alternate picking. All right. You can change how fast or slow you want the slide to be. You can choose the articulation for that. I choose the G#0, which is a fast down slide. All these things. We've got hammer-ons and pull-ups, which I've also used. And the great thing is, it's all right here. We can see it. Down pick, hammer-on pull-up, hammer-on pull-up. So I do enjoy having both the visual. Again, words today are amazing. But also having right here on the piano roll, it's written exactly what's happening to include, the tuning. This actually is a question for a lot of people who are writing bass sometimes. It's, where do I start with the bass? Am I an octave below the lowest note on the guitar? And here, if you're just not sure, you can quite literally just hit the note. And you see this, if you look right here, you can see a white bar come up. There's standard E, right? And then here's drop D. So you can immediately see what your lowest note would be, and then like drop A. So you can always make sure that the bass that you're writing fits within the range of your instrument. The instrument itself is self-explanatory. We got an octave drop where you can drop the bass even more if you want. They've also made the options here to change how the instrument functions easier. I like these sliders. It's really quick. It's very easy to put in human error, just meaning, so the bass sounds more humanistic. I think if we look at the end, let's see here. If we look at the end, we listen to this. You can hear I like that. Obviously, we had more breaks, so you're doing stop and go type parts. Those articulations would help it sound more realistic. Although, ironically, probably you guys would want to cut that out. Who knows? Just a great little addition. So you've got speed, tuning, decay, your bend intensity if you want to do bends, which you can do bends with automation. Auto sliding, force slap, and then the tone here. You can do a lot of tone stack working here. I opted to put a ton of lowing and mids and highs. And one of the features that I've always liked that Max has included with his basses is the enforce. What's the word in English? Let's just call it enforce. Okay. Now this is an old tactic and trick that producers and mixers used to use years ago to basically insert a sine wave or some kind of keyboard note that would follow the bass for a thicker low end, so it would just basically be pinned, right? You can do that right here in the plugin. So if you feel that the bass just is not slapping or you're feeling it in the low end as much as you would like, you can literally just click enforce and it'll thicken right up. Let me show you what I mean here. There's nothing wrong with this. But now you hear that. You just hear the little extra thickness in the low end with a little bit more attack. And speaking of attack, if you enforce it, but then it has too much attack for you can actually round it off with this. So very clearly rounds it off, so it just makes it softer. You can add more attack. You can tame the highs. So there are ways to control the bass sound itself and to make it as punchy or as round as you want, because it's basically mix ready, or it's ready to be mixed, as I like to say. Like, you don't need to do a lot of processing. Probably just need to do a little bit of EQ to fit it into the mix, like I've done here, which is not much at all. And then lately, I've been using the low control from Black Salt Audio in conjunction with Double Tap to really just smooth it out and flatten it. I just did this video about mixing that that death metal song that Cola is doing. Same exact thing, low control with Double Tap. And obviously with a bass instrument, it's even easier because it's less dynamic, a lot of stuff going on like that. But in my opinion, I think the instrument is more simple. They've taken the time to look at the interface and go, okay, this works, that doesn't work. For example, if we look at Loki, which I should have. Loki. Oh, I have to, excuse me. I need to insert it as a track. So if we go to Loki, we're going to notice some differences. Let's Let's just do clean DI. Let's make this a little bit bigger. So I mean, the Loki bass 2, we have the octave drop and the info, which have always been there. But now here, the key switches, the piano roll is a new addition here. You can see where the notes are being played, right? We can see the active key switch. This is kind of all the same. But we go to the playing tab. I really like that they clean this up with just the sliders. I think this just looks better. In fact, if they were to do a UI update, I would be fine with getting rid of this and just turning it into a slider like that. This is really easy to read. It's fantastic. You could make, instead of this orange here, it could be green over here on this side. It's quite nice, actually. I really enjoy that. Same thing here. The back button, I really enjoy it being down here on the bottom. It just seems to be in a position like I'm done working down here and back, right? So it makes sense that it's down here. I like it here more on the Mayo Bass than up here at the top where it's a little tiny button. I'm down here working and then I'm like, oh yeah, it's up here at the top. And then we have the tone knob, same thing. I think in general, the Mayo Bass UI design has really matured. This is neat and all, but this just looks better. Like this, everything fits a little bit better. Like look how much more functionality they've been able to fit into here, into this UI, as opposed to this one. Like I'm making it the same size, but somehow still, hopefully my camera isn't moving up like that. Hopefully still you can see like, wow, look how much extra information and more things we've been able to put in here than in the Loki bass. Now, if the Loki bass sounds amazing. We're not talking about that. I'm more or less talking about the extra UI changes that they've made that I think are great. So if you're a fan of the Mayo Bass, then yeah, buy this. I mean, it's not really an argument about if the bass sounds good or not. It clearly does. The instrument sounds fantastic. You've got the same type of let's get rid of this real quick. You've got the same presets that you're used to getting from Solemn Tones previously with Loki bass. So Mayo Glass, No Patrick. What do you think that's from? Is mayonnaise an instrument? We'll find out. Everything loads instantly. Sounds awesome. This might even sound better. It's got a little bit of a MIG honk in there. It actually kind of pushes through the mix better. Grindy. We'll stick with the Mayo Glass for now. But anyway, that's just my quick overview of the bass. It's simple. I like the UI changes. If you're a fan of the Mayo bass itself and how it sounds, then this is definitely something you should pick up. The UI is far better, more streamlined. Everything loads instantly, and I would not be surprised if they update their libraries that they've already done to this new UI style. It's really good. I really enjoy it. Loads fast, sounds great. It does the thing. Awesome. So hope you enjoyed the video. Thanks again to Max at Solemn Tones for shooting this over to me. Before it was released, I was able to get a beta and check it out. Great job, Max. Great job, Solemn Tones. And if you're in my Discord, you already know about the little surprise that we've given you. Little discount coupon there for everyone in my Discord. If you're not in my Discord, you get into my Discord when you purchase one of my trainings. So if you have my trainings and you're not in the Discord, make sure you get in there. Because I'm really trying to do things like this where people who support me, I go out of my way to try and ask the developers who send me plugins to give them discount codes and things like that, which Max graciously did. So if you're in the Discord, make sure you check the bass channel because there's a discount code for this waiting for you. All right. So any questions, leave them down in the description below. I'll see you guys in the next video. Later.